Hey guys, this is 681 Shadow, your CPC commissioner here, and we are here with the final interview of the season 4 interviews. And today we are interviewing Techno coach of the Carolina Pantherians. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Techno.
All right, so for our first question here is going to be a bit of reflection. How do you feel about how you did in the off season?
Well, the off season, I started off pretty okay. Um, I think in the phase one, I went 4-2, which was pretty okay with me considering I did have a very tough uh division with people like Turbo and A12, both my division, and each putting up equally good fights. And then towards the end of the season, in phase two, was kind of where everything just kind of like fell apart. But other than that, and and it was simple, just kind of based off of that. Um, I wish that I could have done a little bit better, maybe got to the like maybe more wins, even though I went 0-3 in the last part of that. But other than that, it was a pretty solid season for me. I liked my team, and I'm excited to be in this season as well.
Yeah, definitely. In the off season, you did have quite a challenging division, but you were able to do very well, which was very impressive, and that's one of the reasons why you're in the majors now, that you were able to do really good despite you going 0-3 in the second phase. It happens. We all have our ups and downs. But moving on now, how did you get into competitive Pokemon and the draft league format?
I'm pretty sure. Well, no, I'm not pretty sure. I am sure. I started off by watching stuff like the GBA, and then basically I started looking around for leagues. I think I found a random league on Pokemon Showdown, just a guy randomly promoting his league, and then I joined. And then ever since then, I just kind of like branched out from there, getting into more Pokemon Showdown leagues. Then I reached a league called the NBA, and that's really where I got my big start, where I really started getting into like these bigger leagues. And I've been in leagues such as the NBA, the IBL, which they've all equally like helped me get like as far as I am now, and here I am at the moment.
All right. So, so going off that, how much Pokemon Draft League experience do you have? Like, have you been in any notable leagues? I know the NBA is decently notable, if I'm correct. Have you been in any other notable leagues besides that, or is just NBA and CPC the main ones you've been in?
Um, Main other one I've been in was the IBL because that's also had a decent amount of competition in it. And I made finals in that league last season, which was pretty cool. I think I've been in, like the draft league format for about a year, and it's been fun to see it myself and my prep go up more and more every time I keep going. Um, Big things I've been in have been like stuff like the Token Minorities March Madness tournament and the Goodbye ORS tournament, where I made it to decently far rounds. I think I made a round of 32 in the March Madness tournament, and I made semis in the Goodbye ORS tournament. So I'd say I have a decent amount of league experience where it counts.
All right. So, moving on to the next question. Um, what are your opinions regarding how the meta has changed between Generation 6 and Generation 7?
The way that the meta has changed has been pretty significantly based on Tapus and Ultra Beast for the most part, as well as the Mega Buff. And while I like that there's a big change in the meta, I wish that there were more Pokemon that like had a big influence on the meta, such as like the stuff that came out, like Pokemon that people don't use, such as like Drampa or like Komala, Araquanid, stuff like that. All slower Pokemon which people can't really use very well just because they're easily outclassed, outshined, and easily beatable, I guess. Um, but it has been pretty fun for me to get into the new meta. I've been playing a decent amount. I haven't like gotten high on any ladder since the pre-bank, where I did get pretty high on the OU ladder. But other than that, I think the meta is taking a pretty good change. But it'll be interesting to see if any more of the meta changes.
Yeah, definitely. The meta is for sure ever changing, especially in draft leagues because of all the innovation. But what are your opinions on um Z moves?
Z moves, Z moves, they really provide like they really like force a whole nother point of battling onto the the battler and the opponent because one of the big things with Z moves is that if you don't use your Z moves right, then you're basically just wasting a move slot and an item. Yet if you do use them right, then you basically can pick up many surprise kills, and they're big game changers. However, they can also be big game losers if you don't know how to use them right. And that's a big challenge in draft league format. So I think Z moves are interesting, not broken, not like underpowered, but yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. They're a really I feel like they're a really cool mechanic that can change the way the game goes as long as you use them well, of course, because you could use them in a situation, but that could end up costing you the game, as you said.
Right.
So, so moving on now, how confident are you going into season 4 of CPC?
I'm not like incredibly confident just based on how like good some of the battlers are. Specifically people like Togavar, Aberforth, Pawman A12, um, and many other notable names that have been throughout the league. Very threatening cast of battlers that you've decided to pick up. Um, but I think that I'll be able to do maybe decently. I'm not sure how my season's going to go just based on how threatening people are. And but I feel like since there are so many people battling so many different faces, that I'll be able to kind of like get more motivation to put effort into prep, and that could help me a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm kind of branching off of your answer there. I know you mentioned a few names, but in your opinion, who is the most skilled coach in this season?
Probably a mix between A12, Rob Jr. or Togavar, who I see as the most skilled coaches this season. Each of them are they're just so good in the draft league format. Togavar is a very notable MPL player. He's helped me through, well, he hasn't helped me a lot, but I haven't talked to him like all the time, but when I have talked to him, he's like helped me with my CPC offseason battles for just like team building and stuff. And then Rob, I've played many times. He's just an incredible coach. Very solid battler overall. I've seen him through all his like ladder triumphs and stuff, and I've always been kind of a rival. No, not I don't know if I like if he's always been one of my rivals at the moment. And A12 is another one of my rivals. I've played him many times. He's shown how good he is. He's really gotten his start back up, and I'm excited to see how they all do this season. And I'm hoping I can beat them because I know I played two of them. I don't play A12 in regular season, but I'll see if I do later in the season, possibly.
All right, so branching off of that, do you have a coach that you really want to play, or a coach that you really do not want to play?
Coach who I do want to play is Rob, because just how much, well, either Rob or Jake, and the coach of the Virginia Tech Frokies. They're both very good battlers, both very good friends of mine, and I'd be really excited to play both. For a coach I don't want to play, would be like used or something just because of how threatening his team is. But there's no one in the league who I really just like wouldn't want to play because they're all very skilled, all very uh, competent, and it would be a really good test of my own skills to play each of them.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like because we have such a strong competition this season, that no matter what, every week is going to be a test of your skill, whether you like it or not, because we have a lot of skilled coaches, and also for some people, a lot of coaches that you've never heard of, like I know for example, Prado is not really well known,
Right,
especially with the new coaches that are coming in that weren't in season 3.
indeed.
So it's definitely going to be really interesting to see um, how the new coaches battle against the coaches that have been here who they haven't really battled against. So every week is just really going to test what like how good you are. So um, the next question we have for you is that back before the off season, what made you decide to apply for the CPC?
Well, I was somewhat of an analyst back in the CPC season 3. Analyst work got canceled after a while, but it just seemed like a very fun and like um competitive community that I really wanted to be a part of. Um, I knew a lot of people that wanted to apply. A bunch of people tried to get me to apply, and then after that, I decided, hey, I'm just gonna apply for the off season. Hope I get in, and then I did, and I was super excited. And now I've just like met so many of these new people. It's super exciting. Uh, but now that I'm in the regular season, I'm just looking back on that, and I'm very happy that I did apply for the off season when I did.
Yeah, we are definitely happy that you applied as well. You're an excellent coach
Well, thank
nonetheless.
you.
So for the final question of the interview, this is mainly for the viewers who are going to be watching the CPC videos throughout the season. How can the viewers get a hold of you, like through YouTube, Twitter, etc.?
Yeah, I'm gonna be uploading all my battles. Starting with my draft analysis, which should be up very soon. Um, and then I'm also most likely going to be tweeting my battles too. So yeah, Twitter will also be a way that people can contact me. Um, and that's mainly going to be it, unless people, of course, have me on Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, mainly just going to be like my Twitter, my YouTube. I'm going to be having all my battles up, definitely.
All right, so I will have his links down in the description below. But that's going to be the end of the interview. Do you have anything else you want to say before we end it off?
Um, I'm just want to say that I'm super excited for this league. I'm super excited for the opportunity that you've given to me. So thank you very much. And I hope that everyone has a very awesome season because I know that I am. Uh, Thank you for interviewing me.
Oh, of course, of course. So with that, thank you all for watching. Remember to go subscribe to all of the CPC coaches so that we can have an excellent season. And we will see you all next time.